you're a home buyer, somebody or a young person looking to buy a home, you need a bit of a reset.
There is a possibility on the other side of this that inflation could actually be quite low.
Welcome back to Real Estate Mindset. Today's video is going to be absolutely bonkers. Now, the data is in, and once again, we're going to go over the Redfin housing market report, and I'm going to tell you guys right now that price cuts are hitting new records. Prices are going down once again, inventory is going up, and demand continues to get absolutely wrecked. However, Redfin still maintains the position of foolish optimism, very little caution as we have been accustomed to. But regardless, guys, we're going to go over all of the data that pertains to this week's housing market update. Real quick shameless plug, please, guys, so I don't have to keep asking you. Like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. And don't forget, I pretty much read almost everyone's comments. So please, guys, comment below, and I would certainly appreciate that. The name of this week's Redfin article is Housing Market Update, a record share of home sellers drop prices as high rates cut into buyers' budgets. And what we're going to do this week is I'm going to make this video as fast as possible. So I'm going to read all of these paragraphs so that you guys can understand we really need to formulate our opinions. And the thing is this, unfortunately, as consumers, we really have no one to lean on except realtors. That's why I'm always trying to shake realtors, like, hey, step up. The consumers need you. You're really important. But honest, great realtors are important. Where else are consumers going to go? Zillow, Redfin? I mean, seriously, think about what I'm saying. Realtors need to step up, and I really hope that the ones that are watching this channel are, because Redfin isn't. Here's how this article starts. Budgets are getting some relief right now, with daily average rates dropping considerably from 8% to 7.5% over the last week. So raise your hand if you're actually buying into the nonsense that budgets are getting better right now. What about the prices? Are prices going down right now? Is the difference between 7.5% and 8%? Does that mean that I'm paying less than 50% of my income? No, it doesn't. Budgets are absolutely wrecked right now. We have quantitative tightening going on. These reports are designed for foolish optimism. This goes on. Nearly 7% of the for-sale homes posted a price drop during the 4-week period ending October 29th. Now, if you go and look at your overall inventory, it's more like 30 to 40% of homes right now listed have price cuts, because remember, this is just going through the 4-week period. Now, that is the highest average, you guys, the highest average on record. Price cuts hit a new record. I just wanted you guys to know that, okay? The record comes as mortgage rates hover at elevated rates, hitting their highest level in 23 years last week and cutting deep into buyers' budgets. Thank goodness. High rates have forced some sellers to lower their asking price to make up for high interest rates on monthly payments. It's worth noting that buyers are getting a bit of relief this week, at least temporary. Economic events sent daily average mortgage rates from 8% to 7.5% over last week. Now, that is up again today. The 10-year, as I'm recording this, is up 11 basis points, so it's probably going to average back down to 7.5. Even though we have a new record of price cuts, there still is a little bit of year-over-year price growth. This is not from peak. This is just comparing year over year. So sales prices are still up only 3%. Remember, guys, how much does it cost to sell your house? Typically 8%. Oh, except that realtors got caught in a conspiracy for their realtor commissions, and that's probably going to change drastically. But regardless, normally 6%. So sale prices are still around 3% from a year ago. That's partially because sale price data is a lagging indicator reflecting deals that went under contract a month or two ago. Growth in sales price may slow in the coming months as it starts to reflect sales that went under contract as mortgage rates hit 8% in October. What does this mean? Well, it means that even though we have a record amount of price cuts, it's still not even really counting the 8% mortgage rates and median sales price. So more than likely, those sales price declines that we will go over are going to start a sharper trajectory downward. However, another reason for rising sale prices is that despite slow demand, low inventory is propping up prices, as are realtors. Just saying. The total number of homes for sale is down 10% year over year. New listings are, oh my gosh, new listings are finally up. Holy smokes, 1% from a year ago. This is awesome. Just the second increase since July of 2022. Holy smokes, that is amazing news. But that's partially due to new listings falling quickly at this time last year. Well, it's the same time, so give me a break. Price drops are becoming more prevalent than ever while prices continue increasing, illustrates today's bizarre housing market. Redfin agents described a mismatch between sellers' high expectations and the reality of buyers' budgets, saying it's more important than ever for sellers to price fairly from the start to attract buyers and sell quickly. This is such great news. If we go back into the time-space continuum to just 1 year ago, remember, guys, where we came from, buying, bidding wars like crazy, appraisal gaps like crazy, home prices skyrocketing 25%, 20% in 1 year. That's over in almost every single metro area. There is no question, although prices haven't hit that 15% decline that I would constitute as a crash, we're still on the plane ride. The ride's not over and the market is deteriorating right before our eyes. Thank goodness, by the way. Thank goodness. Some sellers are pricing too high, like almost everyone, by the way, because they have fear of missing out. You guys remember? Do you remember me saying that the fear of missing out was going to spread from buyers to sellers? Guess what? It's finally starting. Isn't that great? Fear of missing out after their neighbor's house sold well over asking price 2 years ago. While low inventory is driving some competition and relatively affordable homes in popular neighborhoods are still selling fast. They're getting 2 or 3 offers as opposed to 20 offers at the height of the market. Well, not in my housing market. They're not. They're just sitting there. With mortgage rates between 7.5% and 8% range, buyers simply don't have the budget they would have had 2 years ago. So let's look at this week's leading indicators. Daily average as of this report is sitting at 7.51%. You can see the weekly average is much higher, sitting at 7.76%. Remember, you guys, that's not really in the prices yet. It's probably going to start showing up any day. And I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a sharp trajectory downward. Moving on to mortgage purchase application, that's down 22% year over year. It's the lowest level in almost 30 years. Think about that. It is lower levels than the great financial crisis. We have less mortgage applications, less demand than the great financial crisis. Holy smokes, you guys. Now, moving on, Redfin buying demand is also down 1% year over year. That is awesome. People searching on the internet is down 12%, and touring activity is down 27% from the start of 2022. Holy smokes. Now, take a look at median sales price. So median sales price is down. Okay, so it is down again this week, but it will not show us the trajectory. It's still going to show that the median sales price is going up. This is very concerning for me because Redfin wants to be like the company that's for the consumers. But we know, at least I know beyond a shadow of doubt, that they are, whether it's intentional or not, the trajectory of the graphs they're using are not correct. They show that prices are going up even during periods where they're going down. So it's very alarming. To me, I don't trust them. You can't trust them anymore because we know they're doing that. And that's the same thing that's happened this week. But before we get into the charts, let's look at this week's losers and this week's winners. Isn't it amazing, y'all, that San Diego was at #1 and now it's just completely off the list again? I mean, this is how crazy our housing market. Newark, New Jersey is sitting at #1 at 14.8. San Jose is 13.6. Note also, though, San Jose is not up from peak. San Jose is down from peak. Even though that's showing 13.6%, if you bought during the peak, you're down $100,000. Anaheim's sitting at 11.5, West Palm at 10.6, and Columbus, Ohio somehow is sitting at 10.3. Now, the losers, you guys, the losers is split. It used to be full of Texas metro areas, but there has been movement. Now, again, I think that Texas is all over this list as of right now anyways because of new home construction. You can't change my mind on that. The reason they're on there, we have so much new home building and all over the place in Texas. But #1 declining city metro is Austin at a loss of 6%, but add the 8% it takes to sell your house. #2 sitting at Fort Worth, Texas. Really crazy, right? At 3%. Tampa, Welcome, Florida. Florida's now number 3 at Tampa at 1.8%. Florida is going to crumble in 2024. I know that in my heart. Portland's sitting at 1.2 loss. San Antonio is 1.1. So we have 3 of the 5 top declining metro areas that are Texas. Comment below and let me know why you think that is. I'm extremely interested to hear. Let's go into data visualization now. Now you can see that median sales price is 3.4% year over year. And again, you guys, here's the trajectory from one week to the other. Again, I'm going to put this flat line up against this so you guys can see it. It appears to me that there is a tiny increase upward. If you really look there, even though the sales price went down, it's not even, it looks like it's going up. And look at how they fixed last week's trajectory. Look at that. So remember, this week was showing up, it's now showing down. This week was showing up, it's now showing down. Here's where we're sitting with median asking price. Median asking price is still 5.4%. Really crazy trajectory. You guys can see that, you know, a few months ago, median asking price was almost the same as median sales price. I haven't seen that personally in a long time. Actually, I don't know if I've ever seen that, but it actually really ballooned upward and it is plateauing right now. But we are sitting at 383,200 for median asking price. And it's very hard for me to understand how this is possible when the price cuts are historical right now. So how is median asking price barely going down at all when price cuts are accelerating? Pretty crazy. Now here's the big problem, you guys, unaffordability. You can see that home buying housing payments are up 12.3% year over year. But if we look at 2021 going down here, mortgage payments were under $1,750 just 2 years ago. 2 years ago, you could buy a house for about $1,700. So right now, $2,757. So you may think, well, it's only $1,000 more. No, it's not. It's more than that because remember, property taxes and homeowners insurance is based on the value of the house. So when the value goes up, so does your payments on those liabilities. So remember that. And this is probably going to stay elevated for at least a year and a half. We can see that pending sales is in the gutter once again, a 4-year low for October, sitting at a loss of 9% year over year. So I'm going to say agents, realtors, loan officers, title companies, appraisers, we already see the recession. In fact, to some people, it already feels like a depression. This is already happening in real estate. We see the job losses and the lack of businesses going on right now. For the first time this entire year, we have more listings than we did year over year. It's only +1, but thank God we finally have a plus. Again, first time this whole year. First time this whole year, we finally hit it. Who would have thought at the end of October was when we would start getting inventory? In fact, I have a bet that I'm probably going to lose. However, when we count new construction, it's double this, probably like 1.5 million. But let's just act like new construction doesn't exist, okay? This is going up, and if we compare the rest of the 3 years, you know, it goes down this time of year. This is a notorious decline in inventory, but inventory keeps going up steadily. That's so crazy. We're sitting at 858. Unfortunately, I needed to hit 1 million to win my bet. It's still possible. It's just not very probable. And if we don't want to look at active units and we want to look at months of supply, this is absolutely skyrocketing. We have more months of supply right now than we did last year. What does that tell you? It should tell us that buying demand is even more crushed because we have a little bit less inventory and yet more months of supply, because months of supply is taking into account how much inventory versus how much buying is going on. We're sitting at 3.7 months. Again, we need to hit 6 months for it to be considered a buyer's market. Now, this is going to keep going up, guys. It's going to be past 4. It's going to be past 4 this year. I'm hoping it's going to hit 5 months this year. Let's keep watching it. All right, and here is our new record 6.9, almost 7% of listings had price cuts. You guys can see the trajectory. This is really what I want to point out here. So this is the interest rates working its way through the housing market. So again, it starts here, then median asking price, then median sold price. So it's going to take it actually should start showing us any report now that those 8% interest rates really are devastating the prices of houses right now. We see that with this leading indicator as far as price cuts. This is skyrocketing upward, no end in sight. It is over now, once again, where we were at last year. So record. In fact, never before in history have we had this amount of price cuts going on right now. Historical. Now we're looking at Redfin home buying demand. You guys can see we are under 2022 levels. This is absolutely fantastic, meaning we're down 1% year over year. Although I still question that. I think we should be down more than that because look at the price cuts and look at the supply going up. So this should be lower, but that's okay. It is lower than it was last year, which means we have a 4-year low right now for home buying demand. Things are changing right before our eyes and it's changing rapidly. Now, I think that things are going to continue. Listen to me carefully. I think things will continue this trajectory for the entire year of 2024. I don't think it's going to stop. I don't think there's going to be a giant, enormous built up spring buying season again. I think that's all over. I think now what happens is we get a new president and we look to 2025. I think there's going to be, again, buying opportunity from now for the remaining part of this year and into 2024. But my worry is what will the new administration do to attempt to save the housing market? If they start doing bailouts again in 2025, we might be doomed. We don't know that yet because we don't know what's going to happen. But one thing I'm pretty confident about, you guys, is I don't think there's going to be any more bailouts until we have a new president. And if that's the case and we stay at this elevated level, these trends are just going to continue. It's just going to continue. I highly doubt there's going to be enough built up buying demand to afford these prices and these interest rates in the spring of 2024. But do me a favor, guys, comment. Let me know what you think. Do you think that this is just all seasonality? I mean, seriously, do you think this is all seasonality? Do you think that spring buying season in 2024 is just going to raise prices again? Let me know what you think. Comment below. Now, other than that, if you're out there investing in real estate, you guys know I wish you luck, and I hope you win.